welcome to Minnie and Me on the road. Today I'm sharing what 1 year on the road has cost us. There are so many different ways to travel Australia and so many different budgets. My first year I was learning the ways of travelling and living in a caravan with Minnie. I wasn't sticking to a tight budget as I was working full time. So I've just left my job to set up my own virtual services business, so I'm going to be reducing my spending and sticking to a tighter budget for a little while. I'm also reviewing how much money I need to bring me joy, comfort and security, and how having more time affects my spending, health and well-being. My thoughts, views and needs are changing all the time, so what might be right for me today may not be right for me tomorrow. I feel it's important to keep checking in with myself to see how I'm feeling about things and make changes as required. I feel that this attitude allows me to try new things. I still have fears, concerns and worries, but I also have a larger part inside that tells me everything's going to be okay, especially as I've got a plan A all the way through to a plan Z. So let's go through my expenses, starting with the smallest expense first.
Laundry was $158 a year and $3 a week. This amount would be much higher as I keep forgetting to track the gold coin spending. I would say most weeks it would be $4 a load of washing and drying could be $4 to $12 a load. Gas bottle refill was $321 for the year and $6 a week. I find one 4-kilo gas bottle lasts me 9 days off grid, and this is for the fridge, hot water and gas stove. This amount will be much higher this next 12 months as I plan to be off grid a lot more. Clothing was $588 for the year and $11 for the week. This covers clothes and shoes. Minnie has cost me $992 this year and $19 a week. This has included flea treatment, vaccination shots and doggy care. And then there were a few toys on top. Her food and treats are included in the groceries. Miscellaneous was $1,176 and $22 a week. This covers random things that don't fit in anywhere else. Software, mail redirection service, gifts, etc. Caravan Insurance was $1,758 for the year or $34 a week. This one's pretty self-explanatory. I pay car and caravan insurance fortnightly through NRMA. So you might be a bit shocked at these next two. I was a little bit. So takeaway food was $1,984 for the year or $38 a week, and dine-in was $2,632 a year or $50 a week. These two figures look large. Added together it is $88 a week on food outside the caravan, but the price of food in cafes and restaurants has really gone up. A simple pub meal can now cost $30 to $40 with a drink. I have kept the figures separated because I feel dine-in is better value from an atmosphere, social point of view. I worked full-time in my caravan and lived in there, so after a day of work I just wanted to get out, and often that led me to takeaway or dine-in. It gives me the opportunity to be around people, to feel like I'm not the only person left in the world. Photography, videography was $2,680 a year or $51 a week. This is high this year as I finally decided to take the leap and buy a DJI Mini 4 Pro drone. I'm really glad with this purchase, and it allows me to get footage from a different perspective, which I love adding to my YouTube videos. This category also covers my Lightroom editing software subscription, camera videography, online courses and equipment, and this may be high again next year as I would love to upgrade some of my equipment at some point. Health and Wellbeing was $2,782 for the year or $54 a week. This was for a life coach, massage, herbal supplements, medical appointments, etc. Mobile phone and internet was $2,969 for the year or $57 a week. This was for Boost prepaid mobile phone and Starlink, which is satellite internet. I've paused my Starlink to see how long I can go with just hotspotting to my phone to save some money. Activities and entertainment was $3,592 for the year, or $69 a week. This one might be high as I booked a return trip on the Spirit of Tasmania, which with the caravan and a cabin was about $2,000. It'll be interesting to see how this category looks next year. So the fourth largest expense was diesel for the car. It was $3,895 for the year, or $75 for the week. I'm travelling slowly with lots of day trips, so I think my fuel costs are quite low. Again, it'll be interesting to see how it looks for the next year. Third largest expense was groceries at $6,914 for the year, or $132 a week, which covers anything from the supermarket, food, dishwashing liquid, sunscreen, dog food, etc. It'll be interesting to see if I eat out less, will the grocery bill go up? We will see. Second largest expense was accommodation at $9,901 for the year, or $190 a week for powered sites. I've recently started staying at free camps. Probably out of the 52 weeks, only 6 weeks have been free camping. The rest has been a combination of powered sites in caravan parks and showgrounds. I calculated the weekly and daily figure for the period I stayed in these, and it's worked out to $220 per week, or $31 a night. I've been fortunate to find a lot of low-cost caravan parks. I would expect my accommodation to drop drastically the next 12 months, dependent on free, low-cost camping in the areas I'm exploring. And so that brings us to the largest category, which is car caravan, which was $10,437 for the year, or $200 for a week. This is a large number, but also a big category. This includes anything related to the car and caravan except for insurance. Things like car, caravan registration, car and caravan service and improvements. The car recently needed a service and 4 new tyres, which cost me $1,800. The caravan needed a few things fixing, and that was $1,600. Plus I got the 100 amp hour lead battery swapped for 300 amp hour lithium battery, and that was $1,800 with install. Plus things like solar blanket and controller, which was $1,000. Hoping not to have some of these big expenses in the next 12 months, but like a house, there are always things that need repairing and replacing. I have a few things on the list already. So now that brings my grand total to $52,779, or $1,014 a week, keeping in mind I was working full-time too. I'd really like more downtime this year, so I'll be interested to see how much the next 12 months cost me. I have a small amount of savings to get me through a month or two. I've worked out a rough budget going forward, but unexpected things always pop up. If this has been helpful or interesting, please like, comment and subscribe.